Hello everyone, Professor Lohit here. Today we are going to see the failure and maintenance of the rigid payment. So, in the regardless of the quality of the payment material and the design, so if the increase in the vehicle traffic and the changing environmental conditions will obviously reduce the service life of the payment, which ultimately result in the failure. So, here we have to find the cause and the type of the failure of the payment, particularly for the rigid payment should be understood in order to initiate that proper repair and rehabilitation program to increase their service life. The repair and the restoration of the rigid payment, it depends upon the what kind of the distress you are having. So, here the cracking is the most common feature of the rigid payment. Fatigue cracking is considered as the major cause for the failure of the rigid payment. The stress ratio between flexural we have the tensile stress and the modulus of rupture of the concrete is the primary factor which decides the number of load repetition to cause the fatigue cracking, pumping, faulting, spalling, shrinkage, polished grade aggregate. These are all the what we are going to see in the further our PPTs. So, here what is the objective to learn here is to gain the knowledge about the process of the collecting the data required for the design factors that which affect the payment design and the maintenance of the payment, understanding the various causes leading to the failure of the payment and the remedies for the same. Okay. Let us see the different types of the failures we are having: scaling of the concrete, shrinkage crank, joint spalling, wrap cracking, pumping, faulting, punch out, linear cracking, durable cracking, corner, etc. So, let us first start with the faulting. So, the difference in elevation between the joints is called as faulting. Let us see the picture here. So, here it is. The difference in elevation between the joints, here we have the joints, is called as faulting. The main cause of the failure of rigid payment is due to the following are: it might be the settling of the payment that is caused due to the soft foundation, like bottom layer like subgrade or DLC is not good. Next, or it might be the pumping or the erosion of the material under payment resulting the void under the payment slab caused the settlement, or there might be the temperature variations and the moisture changes in causes the curling of the slab. These might be the reasons for the faulting. So, I will draw the picture for you here. So, if you have the payment slab, so two different slab will be there all the time. Okay, here the further again the slabs will be there. To connect, to make it, to keep this both the slabs in level, we have the bars here. These bars we called as a tie bar. Okay, and these bars we call them as a dowel bar. Clear? So, whatever the we have seen here, these might be the dowel bar or even tie bar. Okay, according to the conditions. If you have the payment, okay, the whatever the longitudinal direction you place the bars to keep the both the slab in a same level, we call them as a tie bar. Okay, and the slab, we'll draw the one more slab here because these are the we called as the expansion joints. Clear? So, here the bars which place we here transverse direction, okay, perpendicular to longitudinal, we call them as dowel bar. So dowel bars are the one which transfers the load from one slab to the other slab. Clear? And the tie bar is the one which what keep the both the slabs at the same level. So every intervals like 100 meter or 80 meter, we place there is a gap between the slabs. That this we call as expansion gap also, or sometimes we call it as a what weathering, or due to the change in the temperature, the slab will expand. In those conditions, to free movement of them, we require this setup that we call as a dowel bar. Clear? So here so this is the reason why we call it the faulting. Let us see the remedies or the maintenance. First of all, diamond grinding is used to restore the pavement. Faulting reaches if it is 4 mm. So dowel bar retrofitting is required if the faulting is between 4 and 12.5 mm. It is in between that. And if the faulting exceeds more than 12.5 mm, complete reconstruction of the slab is necessary. Clear? Let us see the next fault. These are we call as a faulting. Okay, at different intervals you have the joints, and these joints are not on a same level. Next is what? So here, so they are the series of closely spaced dark colored cracks near a joint or a corner or a crack. The reason for the causing is freezing and thawing expansion of the. Let us see the picture. I'll explain you seeing this. Okay, these are the durability crack or the D cracks filled in a rigid pavement. Here are the pictures. See. Oh, here this happens due to the freezing and thawing action will create a regular expansion and contraction, which will result in gradually breakdown of the concrete. Okay, this type of the distress pattern of the cracks on the concrete surface as layered that are parallel and closer to the joints. They always they are closer to the joints. Here you can find that joints. So joints and cracks are the areas where the concrete seem to be more saturated. So here a dark deposit is found called a D crack. This failure of rigid pavement will finally result in complete disintegration of this whole slab slowly. Okay. So what are the remedies for this is, the affected pavement can be refurbished by partial depth or fully depth repair. Okay, depend upon the severity of the damage. Okay, either you cut it open hole and you lay it the new one, or up to the depth what is the disintegration happened, or totally whole slab remove it and replace it with the another slab. Next is punch out. Let's see the picture. So this punch outs in a rigid pavement, these are the what a localized area of concrete slab. You can see that that is broken into the pieces will be named as a punch out distress. Okay, why it is looking like it's like giving a punch here. This distress can be taken any shape, okay, form or any form, and these are what mainly defined by the joints and the cracks. The joints and cracks will mainly keep up to around 1.5 meter width. Okay, the main reason when the punch out is a heavy repeated loads at the particular point. Okay, so the slab thickness inadequacy, what happen, the foundation support loss or the construction deficiency like honeycomb, that might be the reason to form the punch hole or punch out problems. So heavily repeated loads, okay, inadequacy in slab thickness and the foundation support also the constructions of the deficiency like a honeycomb. These are the reasons. Okay, and the remedies are punch out problems are addressed by full depth of patch. There is no any other options. Next is corner breaks. Okay, Okay, if you see, this is a slab. Here you have the tie bars, and here you're going to have the double bars. Okay, and here at the one slab you're going to have the corner break. Okay, these are the failures in rigid pavement that is caused what due to the pumping in excess rate. When the pumping completely remove the underlying support, that is like DLC or subgrade, that no more support exists below the to taken the vehicle load, then what happen, the corner cracks are created. The repaired method is either like, you can find here, you can see the different low severity corner, this when we have the high severity corner break. Here you can find that the repair method is either like full slab replacement or the repair that full depth must be carried out here. Next is linear cracking in a rigid pavement, and here this type of the failure in rigid pavement, what here you can see that divide the slab into 2 or 3 pieces. The reason behind such failure is the traffic load at repeated levels and the curling due to the thermal gradient and the moisture loading repeatedly. And remedies for this are, crank sealant can be used to seal the linear crank. Okay, some sealant will be available, you can use it to fill the crack. And if linear crack leads to the panel cracking, then the pavement has to be restored by full depth repair. Next is shrinkage crack. Okay, here you have the shrinkage cracks. These are like hairline crack, you can crack that are less than 2 mm in length. They do not cross the entire slab. The setting and curing process of the concrete slab results in such cracks. Okay, and these are caused due to the high evaporation of water due to the higher temperature cracks. If the improper curing can also create the shrinkage crack in the rigid pavement. And the remedies for these are, shrinkage crack can be treated by the means of crack sealant, if any they are in a moderate size. Sorry, synthetic rinse is generally used in a crack sealant, and like emulsions they find it, you can use it in a, or either you have to remove the entire slab replacement. This is also a shrinkage crack only. Next is a polished aggregate. So these are the polished aggregates, you can, okay. The repeated traffic, why this happens, the repeated traffic application leads to this distress. Okay, these are the failures in the rigid caused when the aggregate above the cement paste in case of the PCC are very small and the aggregate are not roughly, or when they are angular in shape, that it cannot be provide sufficient skid resistance for the vehicles. So therefore the polishing degree should be specified before the construction is carried out. Clear? Remedies, it can be repaired by the applying the skid resistance slurry seal. Okay, and the diamond grinding can also be used to treat the problem of the polished aggregates in the rigid pavement. These are the polished aggregates. Next is scaling. So it is a peeling off or a flaking of the top layer or skin of the concrete surface. Here you can see that. The top surface is totally peeled off. And the reason for this improper mix design, if it is excessive vibration during the compaction of the concrete, latence of the concrete, or the performing finishing operation while bleeding out water is on the surface. Next is a joint spalling. Here is the images, see. This happens when the excessive compressive stress causes the deterioration in the joints called as a spalling. This may be related to the joint infiltration, or it might be the growth of the pavement that are caused by the reactive aggregates. Okay, the reason for the poor quality concrete or the construction technique will also result in the joint spalling. Sometimes the small edges or to the large spalls in the back of the slab and down the joints can be observed. And the main cause of the spalling I already observed here is joints subjected to the excessive stress due to the high traffic, joints that are constructed with a weak concrete, or the joints that are accumulated with the water that result in a rapid freezing and thawing. The next are wrap crackings. The wrap cracking is nothing but this occurs due to the temperature differences. Okay, in a pavement, a rigid pavement, due to the temperature variations, always have to observe that the slab will bend either in top or in the bottom in reverse way. And this has happened in the day summer, so midday, and this will happen in the midnight. And this whatever the edges of the pavement bending we call it as a wrapping, and this is happens due to the temperature differences. It's clear. So excess stress due to the expansion of the concrete slab results in the formation of the wrapping crack near the joint edges. Okay, and the remedies for this are the proper reinforcement at the longitudinal and transverse joints. Hinge joints are used to relieve the stress with the wrapping. Okay, and next is the pumping. So let's see the images of them. Pumping. So the expansion of the water from the under a layer of the pavement is called, the expulsion, the water coming of water from the under the layer of the pavement, we called it as a pumping. This distress is caused due to the active wheel loads coming over the pavement in a repetitive manner, and this will result in the fine materials present in the subsurface or DLC to move along with the water and get expelled out with the water. Here you can see that clearly. Okay, the gap whatever is there, the bottom, due to the presence of the water, it takes the, when the wheel load moves on that, with the mud, along with the mud, it pumps out through the gap between the slabs. So if the larger voids are created under the pavement due to the repeated expulsions, the strain on the pavement or on the shoulder surface are the method through which the type of failure of rigid pavement is evident. So the pumping can be avoided by prevention of that accumulations at the pavement subbase interface, and this can be achieved by reducing the deflections to a minimum value and by provision of the strong well constructed subbase, or the constructed subbase must have the sufficient drainage facility so that the subgrade below is not saturated and easily the water is drained to the drainage. So whatever the modern pavement construction makes use of this underground drainage systems, that is the best solution for this pumping distress. Okay, so we stop it here. Thank you for your patient hearing.